All right, Larry. What do you know about Dio?
This is going to surprise you.
Okay.
Ronnie James Dio, who's no longer with us,
That's right, he passed away.
I think might be the greatest heavy metal vocalist of all time.
Oh, let's see what everyone thinks about that in the comments.
So why is that? Do you like the falsetto and the the vibrato?
Operatic.
Yeah, operatic voice, kind of.
I have to be honest. Growing up, I didn't care too much. It wasn't that I disliked Dio or any of his earlier work, you know, in Black Sabbath and all that. It was that I wasn't real familiar. He didn't have huge commercial success in the mid-'80s when I was, you know, getting into all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Even into the late 80s, I guess he never had a power ballad or anything like that. He wasn't in heavy rotation on MTV. So I went largely, you know, kind of unaware. I knew who he was. I remembered him from the magazines, and I never really gave it too much look or thought. And then, I don't know when it was, but I heard Rainbow in the Dark. And I was like, oh, I should give that a listen, you know? And I'm listening to it. I was like, I really like that song. So I buy the CD. And so I'm listening to the CD and I'm like, this is really good. I get on, I look at some old YouTube clips. He's phenomenal live. Sounds just as good live as he does on the record. And like virtually everything he sings. I think he's just got this great presence. But I, you know, go down that rabbit hole of watching some of the videos and, you know, late in his career, like as a guy in his mid-60s or early 70s, he's delivering just like he was in 1982 or whenever this was. And that is a very quintessential heavy metal singer sound, you know, like that's very, you know what it is. You know what that music is. And I always wonder, because I like to be a jerk sometimes. You know, you asked me earlier today who I thought the most overrated band was, and I said, I'm willing to go out on a limb and say something that's going to be very unpopular with a lot of the viewers.
What?
I won't say it's the most overrated band of all time.
Yeah.
I would save that for Led Zeppelin. But I would put Queen.
Oh, Queen.
As one of the bands I'm sick and tired of everybody ranting and raving about. Freddie Mercury had a good voice.
Yes.
But you cannot be the quintessential frontman of a rock and roll band when you take the stage at the biggest concert in your life wearing blue jeans and a wife beater. That's not a rock and roll.
It's an iconic look. It's lasted the, you know.
It's an awful look. I think as far as singers go, though, not necessarily bands because he had some great talent, but Ozzy, I do not care for Ozzy Osbourne. Those great earlier Black Sabbath songs that were ruined because Ozzy was singing them, I'm sure I've cost you guys several subscribers with that, with that comment.
Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny had Dio in the movie.
Young Jables, you are hungry for the rock.
I think Tenacious D is heavily influenced by Dio.
Now go, my son, and
Oh yeah, especially
It's
the
just
way
the way they're
Jack
rocking.
Black, does his singing.
Right, yeah, so dramatic and
Yeah.
out there.
Is Tenacious D a real band? I mean, I know they're like a band. Aren't
They're
they a
a-
joke?
Well, it depends on how you define that. I mean,
Like Weird Al Yankovic?
they have, well, even that. I mean, they have musical talent. They play instruments.
If it
And they're
moves
creating
you,
songs. So isn't that a band?
I didn't say they weren't a band. I said, were they a joke?
I think you were questioning whether they were a band.
I said, are they a real band? Like, were
Yeah, there
they
you go.
trying to make real music, or
Yeah.
were they trying to make comedy? And I guess it could be both.
Can't you do both?
which is
Twisted
weird.
Sister. You know?
Twisted Sister.
They are musicians, and they are trying to produce drama. So what difference?
Thank you for explaining the concept of making music.
No. but my point is, what's the difference if you instead want to make music, and instead of drama you do comedy? How does that make it not music?
Let me take a step back and apologize to your sensibilities that I have offended, my good friend. It was an innocent enough question. I'm not familiar with their entire body of work. What I have seen of Tenacious D is the two guys staring at a camera, kind of like three guys doing right now. And so by your own thing, so that means that Adam Sandler is a legitimate musician. But,
Has he released an album?
yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And he plays the guitar.
Yes.
He plays songs, writes lyrics, and sings them.
Tell your friend Veronica it's time to celebrate Hanukkah. I hope I get a harmonica on this lovely, lovely Hanukkah.
I mean, look, for all I know, Tenacious D is a lot better than, most of the bands we grew up on musically, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
Tenacious D.
also, I do remember I made several of my hard rock friends angry with me in middle school.
That's easy to do.
In middle school because we had to do some social studies project. And so I chose metal and devil. Is there a connection? And featured prominently
You like to push buttons.
was the Dio logo. His logo,
Yeah.
if you turn it upside down,
Yeah.
spells devil.
Right.
And like all my hard rock friends were like, you're giving the secrets away, man. What are you doing?
When I was a kid, I remember
Give 'em
that.
ammo.
Looking at it, be like, oh, it does do that. That's weird. And I remember,
awesome.
You remember how serious we took all that shit? Like, oh my God, if you play this album backwards, it'll have like commandments for the devil and shit.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
I played.
this was a business. They were just doing things to make money.
right.
There was no subversive trying to steal souls.
No.
Witchery.
Yeah.
I think
magic,
I played the
all that
entire
shit.
Shout at the Devil album backwards because on the back of the album it says, caution, this album may contain
May
backwards.
contain.
Oh,
So I
right.
played the whole damn thing backwards.
May.
And then you find out later that one of the songs that got cut off the album had some silly recording at the beginning that was done that way, but it didn't even make the album. I ruined my Shout at the Devil album. by playing
That
it back.
sucks. Let's journey to the 90s,
Oh, we're in the 90s now.
1997.
Somebody out there's gonna do you cool.
But I feel like Dio was just like, whatever. We're still,
Gonna play our music.
yeah. I don't see a flannel. I don't see
He's not staring at his shoe.
Dio
No.
wearing a flannel.
Also interesting tidbit is that Ronnie James Dio is often credited for the devil horn salute. Gene Simmons likes to claim that because he does it on the Love Gun album cover. but Ronnie James Dio, I believe, was the first to go with that, and it was something he picked up from his grandmother. His Catholic grandmother would say something and had nothing to do with the devil.
Really?
He did the devil horn salute thing. That was always his thing.
What the crap? I'd never heard that.
Yeah, you can look into it. I think I'm right.
I'm of Italian extraction, and my grandmother, my grandfather, on both sides of both my mother's and father's side, came to America from Italy, and they had superstitions. And I would always see my grandmother when I was a little kid, with her holding my hand and walking down the street. She would see someone and go, "What's that?" And eventually learned that it was called the Maloik. And the Maloik was someone was giving us the evil eye, so she's giving it protection against the evil eye. Or you can give someone the evil eye too. So invent it, no, but perfect it and make it important, yes.
It doesn't surprise me that Gene Simmons would want to take credit for that and try to put a trademark on it and probably therefore collect a dime every time somebody threw it up.
I'm lucky enough to have kind of just have done it so much, it's been more equated with me than anyone else. Although Gene Simmons will tell you that he invented it, but then again, Gene invented breathing and shoes and everything,
So this is 2009. He died in 2010. So this is
before.
Yeah, this is
How old was he then in this time?
67, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's like late 60s, I think.
Yeah, like
He
60s.
sounds the same.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing to me.
Yeah. Okay.
The only thing I noticed different about Ronnie James Dio is the old hairline's receding a little, but he sounds great. I think he was great from beginning to end.
Yeah, he stood the test of time as far as performance goes.
And stayed out of the, stayed out of the tabloid or whatever you want to call
Right,
it. I
no
don't remember there
scandals,
being
really.
any, drug overdoses or drunken run-ins with people or anything like that. I think he was just a professional rocker.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he partook in all of that and had a lot of that going on too, but it certainly wasn't front and center in the news.
But hey, good on him for getting away with it, whatever it was.
Whatever it was, that's right. Yeah, I grow to appreciate Dio a little bit more each time I hear him,
Yeah.
Thank you!
I think that's a good Dio segment. Catching up with old Ronnie. Catching up with Ronnie. It's a little segment.
And now for a little segment we like to call Catching Up with Ronnie.